Hello, and welcome to the Monday Night Empower Hour call that happens every single Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I am your guest host today. My name is Lawrence Tam. I'm one of the affiliates inside of Empower Network, and I just want to welcome you, thanking you for taking the time out to listen in on this Empower Hour. And this Empower Hour has been going on for 3+ years, educating a ton of different people on how to build a successful business. And look, I totally appreciate everyone hanging out, and so I'm going to get right into it. So my name's Lawrence Tam. I've been with Empower Network since 2011 when they launched, and Empower Network is one of those special, I wouldn't even call it a business, it's a life change, right? So I am born and raised in Houston. I was a mechanical engineer. Was in that profession for over a decade, about 12 years, from semiconductor to optical sorting to downhole drilling, right? And I thought that was my life, you know? And so Empower wasn't there when I first started engineering. You know, when I first started even high school, you know, you have that guidance counselor, and they're like, hey, what do you want to do with your life, and what profession do you want to be? You know, being 17 in high school, I'm like, dude, I don't know. I just want to make some money. Right? I mean, let's just be honest, right? I wanted to make some money so I can go play basketball with my friends and play video games. That's all I really wanted to do, right? And, you know, the guidance counselor is looking at me thinking, okay, what are you good at? And I can't fault him. What else are you going to do? Every kid that goes in there, if they're not like driven to a point of, I want to be a doctor because I wanted to be a doctor for the last 10 years, or my parents are all engineers, I want to be an engineer. And so he just asked, you know, what I was good at, and looking at my transcript, you know, I was good in math, I was good in science. And he's like, well, why don't you become an engineer? So can you imagine, like, your future being dictated just because you're good at something from another person's perspective because of your grades? It's kind of crazy, but, you know, that's how kind of, you know, society is, right? And, you know, my parents, they are not in engineering. My dad, you know, he's got a master's in architecture, right? And he went into home sales, and he did very, very well in that. So I kind of understood, like, you know, not having a steady income, having incomes where one month you do, you know, 100,000, next month you do nothing, you do negative, right? And so, but that didn't really sit well with me. And so my dad was like, hey, why don't you go to college? Don't be an architect. He told me, don't be an architect. Don't go to school for that. But your uncles, they all have masters. Actually, I think they're all PhDs in engineering, chemical, mechanical, electronics. And so he's like, why don't you pursue that degree, right? That course, just because you're good at math and science. I'm like, well, I guess, right? So went down that path. Now, think about this. If I had Empower Network a decade ago, here's, you know, how that could have changed. I mean, think about it. I was in my cubicle thinking how I could stay home and watch TV and not have to work. I mean, that went through my mind all the time. How do I not wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Because I had to catch a van pool because my work was an hour away, and the work at my workplace, they had a option where you can get on a van pool where, like, you know, 12 to 15 people would rent a van, and you would pay them monthly. I think I was paying like, $100 a month or $150 a month, and they would then drive everyone to and from work, and they would have a driver. And that would pay for the van lease, and that would pay for mileage and tolls. But 2 hours a day, I was stuck in a very, like, vans are pretty big, but I mean, come on, I mean, compared to your house or being outside, 2 hours a day, and then I'm going to and from work 2 hours, I'm missing 5 days a week, right? And then when I get there, all I'm thinking is, man, it's too early, I don't want to be here, how do I go home and just watch TV and hang out with my wife and kids? If it's something you think about all the time, it's probably something that's pretty important to you. I don't remember the last time I woke up and go, man, I can't wait to wake up at 5 a.m. to get in a van, to drive to work, work, because I love work, and then go home, see my kids for an hour, go to sleep, and wake up at 5 o'clock again and do it 5 days a week. I don't know many people who do that unless they love what they're doing. Like, someone who's like, I'm about to invent this really awesome machine. They're excited. Or, I'm about to find this medical breakthrough. Or, I'm designing this, really cool car. I'm part of this team. I'm really excited about it. That was never me. I was the guy on projects because that's how I got paid. I did something in exchange for my experiences, for my background, for my education and my work ethic. They paid me a salary, right? So if I worked 40 hours or if I worked 100 hours, I got paid the same amount. And so before Empower Network, that's where I was. I was the guy in a cubicle, always thinking, there's got to be something I can do to supplement my income to allow my wife to retire her. She was an accountant. She actually made more money than me. And I was like, well, how in the heck am I going to do that? She makes more than me. We need her income. If anyone's going to, stay home and lose a job, it'd be me, right? Or quit their job, it'd be me. But I'm like, I'm not the best. I think, my wife is by far the best caregiver for our kids. I'm like, well, I want her to be a stay-at-home mom, right? I don't want our kids ever to step foot into a daycare ever, right? And we were able to accomplish that with the Empower Network, right? So what is Empower Network? How does it work? Why did it allow us to retire my wife, an accountant, myself, a mechanical engineer? How was it able to do that? And I'm going to go ahead and dive into that. So here's the deal. Empower Network is one of these things where it kind of doesn't make sense, but it does. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. It's one of those things like you're looking at it like how does something that can replace two professional employees, right? We're both employees, and one accountant, one engineer, combined income of over 100,000, 10,000 a month. How do you do that? And the thing is, there was no guidance counselors. There was no college curriculum. There was no degree path that shows you how to build a business and how to do it online. There was nothing like that. And so what Empower is the number one, the largest for-profit blogging network in the world. I said for-profit, right? Because there's a lot of non-profit ones where they basically say, join us for free and then we take your money because now we have your traffic, right? No. Empower Network is the largest for-profit where they're geared to helping you build a business. Right. If you don't have one, Empower can help you with one. If you do have one, you come on as a customer and you use blogging to attract high quality clients. You attract prospects. You generate leads. You generate an audience, right? Exposure through blogging. And the thing is with Empower, with that, it includes marketing, mindset training, everything that you would need to build a business. And that's what I did. I was, some people might say successful, but to me it wasn't. So before Empower Network, I was making from affiliate marketing, selling other people's products, right? I was making anywhere from negative 5,000 to like 10,000. Some months I'd have a really good month, right? Selling other people's products, making 10,000 in a month, and I was thinking, ooh, I'm getting close to be able to retire from engineering. And the next month I was negative 3,000. I don't know if that resonates with you, but trust me, there's got to be a percentage of you feels what I feel. You have a good month, and the next month is negative, and you're thinking, if you take the average of that, how does one survive, right? How do you pay the bills? Because the next month, you still have to pay for your monthly rent or your mortgage. You can't be like, hey, I had a bad month, I can't pay you. It doesn't work like that, right? And so Empower Network has a training to be able to get you there. And so here's what Empower Network has. So on a weekly basis, we have these Monday calls, right? It's called the weekly Empower Hour. And it's trying to, bring to you different ideas from different people and their backgrounds and how they built their business with Empower Network using their products and how, we use blogging and how we actually grow our businesses, right? Grow our list. And so Empower Network is designed with the idea that everyone needs a way to achieve their goal. And sometimes, their goals are maybe they need something to sell. Maybe they need a way to learn how to build a business. They need some way to get traffic. They need a way to get online, to get exposure. Empower Network has that. At its core, it's a blogging platform, right? That's at its core. So at its core, it's a blogging platform, but it's a training platform to train, the best people on how to be the best you. Because if you're going to build a business, it's a reflection of basically your value to the market, right? So if your value to the market is, you have no value, then you better increase that, increase the skill set. It's just like a job, right? If you went in for an interview and your resume was blank, why would someone hire you? And the thing with affiliate marketing, we cut out a lot of that. You can start from zero, and we're going to train you. Empower Network's going to train you how to be a better business owner, how to handle money better, how to work with, the constraints of having a life. One of the things that the biggest hurdles I had was, how can I learn to make money on the internet from home if I'm a dad with 3 kids? At the time I had 2. How can I have time to even learn, let alone implement? And a lot of that came down to not having time to market, not knowing how to market. Market being, how do I use Facebook to generate traffic? How do I use a blog to do SEO? How do I set up a pop-up so when people come to my website, I can send them an offer that then wants them to opt in and become a lead? All of that stuff, you have to learn, you have to design it, you have to build it. And I just started noticing, it's not that there's no way, it's extremely hard to learn it, build it, then market it. It's like a 3-phase thing. It's so hard to do that. So Empower Network, what they did was they built it, they train you how to do it. Now you just gotta do it. It's kind of like buying a car, right? You didn't have to design the car. You didn't have to build the car. You just gotta learn how to drive it, right? And that takes practice. It's like riding a bicycle, right? And if you don't know how to do it, find someone who does, and then get on that, and then practice on it, right? And so here's some pretty cool stats about Empower Network and what it has done. I mean, it's holding events all over the world. It has affiliates all over the world. And so currently right now, Empower Network has done over $150 million in sales in the last 3 years. 150 million, all right? Empower Network has several 100,000 customers, and it has over 50,000 affiliates. An affiliate is someone who sells a product that they don't own. So think of a real estate agent. They didn't build a house. They sell it. They get a commission for it. Think of a car salesman. They didn't build it. They sell it. They make a commission for it. That's an affiliate, selling someone else's product, right? And in Empower Network, you have the ability to plug into their business model, right? And then from there, you're able to make a commission from it. I mean, some commissions are 100%. Some commissions are like 70%. And some commissions are based upon your leadership skills and teaching others how to do the business, and then you get a percentage, right? I mean, just really think about this. That's huge. You sell in real estate, you make 3%. Car salesmen, they make a small percentage. Even if you go online, right? You go online to like Amazon. I think they're one of the oldest affiliates. You make anywhere from 3 to 5%. And so, you sell a TV for $1,000, you make $30. Hooray! You made $30, right? But Empower Network has products that are around $1,000, and you make $700, not 30, 700, right? Now, that in a nutshell, for me, kind of blew my mind, because I was used to seeing products that, products and services you can retail, you'd make anywhere from 1%, 3%, 10%, maybe even up to 30%. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty industry standard. And then Empower Network came out with things that were 100%. Like selling something for $17 through Empower Network, right? Empower Network hosts it, creates it, builds it. Think of a car. They do all of it. and you make 100%. And just really think about that. So, they'll have a product like the Kalatu Premium Trial. It's $17, and if you retail it to someone on Facebook, your buddy, your neighbor, your classmate, and they buy it for $17, you make 100%. Think about that. 100%. That's crazy. That's crazy. And if you have your own business, you understand merchant fees, you understand holdbacks, you understand, overhead. You don't ever get 100%. But with the Empower Network, we wanted, well, when I say we, Empower Network's vision was to build a organization, but a lifestyle where people can win immediately. Right, without the holdbacks of, applying for a merchant fee or a merchant account or having to set up and build an SEO optimized blog or, having you to learn all this stuff in Empower Network. They're like, well, you can take it at your own pace, do it part-time like I did, right? So what did that have resulted? What came from that? What came from that idea of Empower Network to building a business? Even if you're part-time like I was, right? I was working, I think, 2 to 3 hours a day, every single day on Empower Network and learning marketing, learning businesses. How do you generate traffic? How do you get people to buy things from you without calling them, without getting on a three-way to sell a product for $500? I didn't do any of that. I was following what Empower Network was doing. So Empower Network, in its 3 short years, I mean, this is ridiculous, but it's factual and you can look it up. Empower Network in 3 years has created $14 million verifiable million-dollar earners. Now, I'm not saying in gross, right? Like if you sold a home for $1 million, the salesperson didn't make $1 million. They made like 3% of that. But in Empower Network, there's an income disclaimer that shows you there's actually, 14 people. I think we had one like, Alex and Anna. I think they were like 2 months ago. They hit their million. Toby and Layla Black, they're like, I think 100,000 away from their million. There's a lot of people who are really close to their million. $14 million verifiable earners who have made over $1 million. Like myself, I think I'm the fifth $1 million earner. I made over $1 million. I'm almost on my second million, who have been recognized with their $1 million ring. So in Empower Network, once you hit this, once you've created and generated $1 million in commissions, they give you this $1 million ring. It's a really cool ring. It's ginormous. I don't know how many diamonds on it, but it's a lot of diamonds on it. And they give it to you, right? And it's an accomplishment as an affiliate with the network. They hear, thank you for your business. Thank you for all the customers. Here you go. But the thing is, think about it. Empower Network pays you 100% on some products and then 70% on almost all the other products. They're doing it because they want to make sure you have a fighting chance to win. And that's one of the main reasons why I joined them. I felt like their hearts with David Wood and the corporate staff with Jay Cron, Mars, they wanted you to win. And so when they're doing these trainings, and I'm watching this at work, on my phone, right? So I'm working on, SolidWorks or AutoCAD. I'm building some parts, but I have my phone next to me. I would watch a training, and it's like you can kind of feel they really, really, really want to make you some money, right? Now, of course, the results, they're not typical, right? So you can review the average earnings at empowernetwork.com/income. But that's, to me, that's huge, right? I wasn't here for an average lifestyle. If I want an average, I would get, I don't know. In high school, they wanted you to believe an average grade was a B or a C. Well, I don't know, but my background, I was born and raised in Houston. My parents are from Hong Kong, right? They're Cantonese. And average to them is an A. Anything below an A is below average. And so what's funny is there's a difference between our culture of being Chinese. So I don't know. There's a show called Fresh Off the Boat, and it just makes me laugh because they hit it on the head, right? If you don't get an A, the question is, why didn't you? Not like, oh, you got a B, congratulations, you passed. In that culture, it's not about passing. It's about excelling. It's about being the best, right? And so, just thinking about what Empower Network has been able to do for so many people, they want you to be the best. But if you want to be average, average people, I think average people in Houston, Texas make like $50,000 a year. They're in credit card debt, maybe around $10,000. I think there was a stat about that, how much the average person owes on their credit card. The average person, doesn't have property. They don't have residual income. They don't save for their kids' education. They don't have $1 million saved for their retirement. That's the average, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to think of the word average in your brain and smash it. Like if you use a chisel, hammer, a bulldozer, a TNT bomb, go ahead and destroy the word average, because you don't want to be average. I mean, really think about this. Do you want an average body? Do you want to drive an average car? Do you want an average lifestyle? Do you want an average marriage? Do you want just like an average breakfast? Heck to the no. I do not. Right? And so Empower Network is there to cut the learning curve, giving you products, giving you the marketing, right, and giving you things to plug into. So, like, you don't have to do the Monday calls, right? You can send your prospects, you can send your team members to these calls every single Monday, right? And so, Empower Network's vision with David Wood is he wanted to create 100 millionaires a year. And he's charted out a way to do this in the industry. And now you might be saying, well, in 3 years only created 14 million, but they've actually implemented more ways to get the affiliates more money, to get them more money, crafting different ways, like the 100% commission. Every company out there, when Dave was talking about this, said he was crazy. Like, why would you do something like that and not want to make money on it? And the idea was we got to get people to win. We have to get people the idea that, you can work from home, and all these obstacles that you think you have, they'll help you through. And that's the vision of 100 millionaires a year, right? And so here's how Empower Network can help you. So Empower Network is based on getting you profitable, getting you to be the best business owner you can possibly be, right? Best affiliate you can possibly be. And a lot of that comes with just mindset, right? Now, some of you might be thinking, no, it's the how-tos, it's the technical. No, not really. No, not really. If you look across the board on any industry, the people who are ultra successful to the people who are just average, it's not because, they are prettier, or, they have, they have XYZ, they have a website. It all comes down to the mindset of how you take care of you and your business, right? How you approach people, your swagger, your mojo, right? And so what I've seen is, the technical is out there. And if you really wanted the technical, you could find it, just Google it, right? But here's the problem. The problem is there's not a reinforced way to help you to use the technical to build your business, and that's where Empower Network is. And a lot of it comes down to mindset. Now, me being more of an analytical brain, a person who, likes X's and O's, likes ones and twos, I've been in the industry since 2008. My dad brought me into network marketing because he looked at what we were making as engineers and as accountants. He goes, look, you're never going to be rich, right? Now, some people might think, well, making $100,000 a year is rich, but if you really think about what things cost, like we had a financial advisor tell us each of our kids would cost anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 to go to a public or private school for college. It puts in perspective, $100,000 a year is really nothing, right? And especially since you can't borrow for your retirement, you got to be saving now. You need to be using compounding interest to be, building your retirement nest egg, right? And you see a lot of people. I think that a stat that I saw, I don't have a quote to where I saw it, but it might have been radio or CNN. The average person has less than $100,000 saved after 65. The average person, when they enter retirement, they have less than 100,000 or something like that. Something ridiculously low. Like, how do you live, right? And a lot of it comes down to, people had really large school loans. People bought things they didn't need. People, bought homes they shouldn't have been buying, or they just spent way too much and they never increased their income to match their lifestyle, right? So Empower Network is here to help groom your mind to eventually go full-time in the industry of being a business owner, right? And so, and a business owner being, you can sell Empower Network products, get paid up to 100%, and you can be what we call internet marketer or an affiliate, right? And so with Empower Network, if you want to get to the levels where, like the other 14 other $1 million earners, I can only tell you what I've done. And what I've done was I was very, very consistent. I made it a priority to learn, number one, how to build a business, but number two, how to implement it with the time constraints that I had. I mean, I got to work I left for work at 5:30, got home around 5 due to traffic and all that. Played with the kids, helped with their homework, put them to bed, and it's around 8:30 to 9. Hang out with my wife for about an hour, so it's 10. I literally had maybe 1 to 2 hours at night. I would work during my lunch, so that's about almost another hour while I would eat at my desk, a sandwich or a shake or something like that. That's 3 hours. And then weekends, the kids will go out. I would try to go to a lot of their functions, but sometimes hey, I want to be able to work on something. So I might be able to do another 2 to 6 hours on a weekend, Saturday or Sunday. So to me, it felt like I wanted to build a part-time job on top of my full-time. I mean, a lot of people work 60 hours in a week, right? So the weeks I'm only working 40 hours, I would add another 20 hours to learn internet marketing with Empower Network, right? And just be very consistent, right? And so the main things I was focusing on was, number one, getting traffic, right? I would use a blog. Number two, connecting with the people who came to my website. So I ran an autoresponder. So Empower Network teaches you how to use an autoresponder and how to connect with that. I use an autoresponder. Number three, I always focused on traffic, right? So those three things that I worked on the most: my blog, getting leads through an autoresponder, right? You have the autoresponder set up, and in Empower Network, we can integrate to them. And then number three, getting more traffic, either through posting something on Facebook to drive it to my blog, or using paid traffic to send it to a capture page through Empower Network. But those three things, over a long, consistent period, I built it up. But it could have been way shorter. And why? I was doing it all myself. I was doing all the learning myself, until I found Empower Network. Empower Network, they have these live events, right? Like a Monday night call, a Thursday hangout, a technical Tuesdays, and then they have these, events like, going to Las Vegas, right? Their next live event is in Las Vegas, and if you're talking about, is it real? Or if your spouse is like, is it real? Take them to Las Vegas, right? And in Las Vegas, they're doing a workshop. I believe it's like July 30th. They're doing that whole weekend. They're in Las Vegas to really groom the next wave of business owners, no matter where you are. Completely brand new, don't know what a blog is, to, hey, I'm generating $10,000 a month. How do I double that in the next 90 days? Or how do I triple that in the next 90 days? A lot of it comes from conversions and more traffic, right? More traffic and upsells and conversions. Now, being able to use Empower Network as a resource, as a family, and that's the main difference. You can, like I said, you can find technical anywhere on Google, right? And the reason why most people don't succeed going that route is because, number one, they don't know where the information is coming from. Is it verifiable? Do the people actually make money doing that method? And is there support with it? And that's the main issue. You can go buy this software piece or whatever, or find this thing on this website, and it's like the newest hack, like the newest breakthrough thing, right? And you use it, and then is there a community there that use it? Is there people you can ask questions to? Is there a way to connect with other people, right? Most of the internet, what people think, and it's probably pretty true for the vast majority of other programs, you're on your own. You buy it. There might be a support ticket that says, hey, how do I use this button? But besides that, that's it. There's no community, right? And that's where Empower Network differs from everything else on the internet. There is a community here. People who are just straight customers who are looking to build their network marketing company. Or people who are like, look, I'm completely brand new. I need a way. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I need a way to be able to, bring my husband home. How do I do that? I need to make $5,000 a month. Well, in Empower Network, we have the ability to show you how to do that and make the money in Empower Network. But it comes down to being consistent and having the right mindset, right? Mindset being, understanding business, understanding your finances, understanding your time management, understanding if you were to watch a video for 10 hours every single week and that's all you did, that is not building a business, right? It contributes to learning, but it's not building your business, right? Building your business is when you actually learn something, you implement it, you check it if it works, and you recycle all of that. You do it again, right? So many people are so used to going to school for 12 years, elementary, middle school, high school, going to college for 4 years. If you think about that, that's 12 years in the States, right? I don't know, Europe is a little different, but 12 years for, what they call it, primary school, 12 years for up to high school, and then 4 years for college. That's 16 years you're not expected to make any money. You're just supposed to learn. So a lot of us, myself included, I fall victim to that we should learn everything so that we can get hired by somebody or find something that falls in our lap and hopefully get a job and make some money. That's not the way businesses run, right? I mean, if you owned a sandwich shop, you can't clean the sandwich shop and cut the meats all day if you have no way to telling people you're open, right? If your location's bad, right? If you're not advertising that you're open, what deals you have, no one's going to come in. So no matter how clean it is, it won't even matter, right? And that's the main problem. A lot of people get stuck in just the learning. So they'll go out on Google, they'll do some searches on YouTube, and they think they have the next greatest thing. But since they don't implement and they don't test and tweak and maybe even get feedback from others, they're stuck. Right? They're stuck. And then some people are like, hey, I can blog on my own. They go blog on their own. I look at their websites and they're awful. Their blogs are awful. Number one, there's no clear copywriting rules on there. Number two, there's no way to even generate a proper lead. Number three, they're spamming all these weird offers and it's flashing and it's bubbling. I don't know. Like some of these banners are ridiculous. Number four, they're just not geared, their SEO isn't right. Like, so they're not attracting the right customer to their businesses because they're writing about weird stuff that doesn't even make sense, right? They're not even doing keyword research. They're not even doing proper on-page SEO. And that's the stuff we teach in Empower Network. If you have questions, you ask them in the groups. You connect with people at events. Like in Las Vegas, we have, probably about 1,000, a little over 1,000 people to come show up. This is where you can connect and build a business relationship, which is, so it's missing. It's definitely missing. It's definitely missing. And so with Empower Network, here's what you get. You get the number one largest for-profit blog. The blog system is Kalatu, and their Kalatu system is awesome, right? If you look at normal blogs, and there's always that question, why do I want free, right? Okay. For you health-conscious people, this will probably make more sense. Your faucet water out of a park, if you went to the city park or if you went to just, the mall, right? There's water fountains there. The water's free. And if someone had a plate and they're like, they just, like you went to the cafeteria or you went to the mall cafeteria eatery and there's just free food on plates, just someone probably bit into it and just didn't throw it away. Now, you might think to yourself, well, okay, if you're homeless, you don't have anything, yes, it's food someone ate, but it's still food. It's water from a park, right, that's probably used for dogs. It's water. But if you think about it, you have to elevate your game. You need things that are business-based, right? Having a free blog is not a business, it's not a wise business decision, number one, right? It's like driving on a car with 3 wheels and 1 flat. Can you do it? Yeah. Will it hurt your business? Heck yeah, right? And So with Kalatu, there's some really, really cool things integrated into it. If you're familiar with WordPress, you'll feel right at home. But the main thing is, it includes hosting, it includes media. So hosting being, most of us have hosting and think that, I can pay $5 a month, or I don't think it's $5. It's like $7 a month, and you're good to go. But if you get too much traffic, your website collapses, and then the hosting company holds you hostage to upgrading. I've been there, right? I got too much traffic to it, and then they held my website hostage until I upgraded to a dedicated server, which cost me, get this, $250 a month for just hosting. Just to put the files on the internet and host it. So a lot of my traffic that I've been diversifying, I'm looking to using Kalatu because they give you, like, if you're using premium, now there's an upgraded service, but premium, it gives you like 10 blogs. At the current time of this speaking, I believe Kalatu, the regular Kalatu system, Kalatu blogging system comes with 3 blogs. So if you want to do different niches, if you want to build up from one for your, your daughter, one for your business, and one for your side gig, you can definitely do that, right? So the Empower Network's Kalatu blog is built for the novice, someone who doesn't want to learn how to code, how to install WordPress, move your cPanels around, install, all this other stuff. The training's in there, and the main thing is the support. If you have issues with your blog, there's actually 2. If you had a free one, they're like, good luck. Hey, it's free. What do you expect, right? If you have your own custom one with WordPress.org, a lot of times what I have is I have these conflicts, and I'm talking to the more advanced marketer who has their own blogs and why you should be using Kalatu Premium, the upgraded version of Kalatu. But here's I just want to talk to you specifically to the advanced bloggers. Number one, if you have an issue with your website, right, something's not loading, you contact normally 2 different people, right? Number one, you contact your host server, right? You see what's the problem. A lot of times, hey, you got too much traffic, it collapsed, or you got hacked. Number 2, if your host server says it's not us, then they have to then defer to your website, your blog. And a lot of times what I get is they're like, oh, you're using a theme that isn't like one of the basic WordPress themes. We can't help you with that. You need to contact your theme support. So you'll go to your theme support and you'll ask them, hey, something's wrong with my website. And they're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I mean, think about this. You have to contact 2 different companies, 2 different organizations, every time something changes. And it wouldn't make a big deal or be a big issue if nothing really changed, but it does. Why? Every time WordPress updates, you have to update your blog. Every time your theme updates, you have to update your blog. Every time your server decides to update some PHP thing, you have to update your server, which then has to update your blog. These conflicts are an issue. Let alone those who go plug in happy and now your website is at a crawl and it won't load properly. And this is why I recommend everyone to start with a Kalatu blog and then upgrade to premium, because they have cool stuff like pop unders, editorial releases, content upgrades with the blaster. You'll see these all over. Like if you study any type of SEO, marketing, blogging, content marketing, you'll see all the things that are out there right now that you have to pay premiums for, like $100 to $500 or $70 a month. There's all these cool premiums you can add to your blog. They're being included into Kalatu Premium. Now, a lot of them are actually in the Kalatu themselves too, but go ahead and take a spin for it. Upgrade to the premium. You can get 10 blogs from that, right? And that includes hosting. The price of what you get actually does include hosting, right? And so, no matter what technical thing you have, no matter, what you're looking for, what it comes down to is you need to be educated on what is working today. And when you're working with a company like Empower Network that is partnered with, the best marketers on planet Earth, and they're educating on what's working today and what doesn't work, or, how to build your business, it all comes down to how you want to take your business today from scratch, or maybe you're established, and how to get to where you want to go in the future. And so the biggest issue is if you go out alone, it's kind of like going to college and you don't have an instructor. You just kind of buy. It's like self college education. Like you just buy books and then test yourself. the likelihood of you succeeding is so low. Like, pick up a college book, read it, go through it, test yourself, and let's see if someone will hire you, or from the knowledge that you gained, are you able to create your own income from it, right? But normally when you learn a profession, you want to be hired by a company for your skills in that profession. With Empower Network, we're going to teach you how to be a blogger. We're going to teach you how to be an affiliate. We're going to teach you how to drive traffic. We're going to teach you how to be, the person that someone wants to hire to set up their websites. We want to be the person, Empower Network is going to show you how you can be a consultant, right? How you can set up blogs for your clients. Let's say one of your clients is a real estate agent and they don't have a blog to put their listings, to show why that you should do business with them. You could actually use one of your 10 blogs, like you manage it, right? Because the thing is, a real estate agent doesn't want to mess with the blog, right? You can be the tech for them. You can be the business owner. And the cool thing is you can charge them, charge them a premium, charge them a minimum of like $300 a month. And you can run their content through there. You have their hosting. You have all that. They just want something up. They don't want to have to deal with the details, right? And so, but with Empower, we're going to show you how to do that. We can show you how, if you're on a shoestring budget, that, hey, come in, join Empower, join the person who brought you to this. If you listen to this on the phone, or if you're watching this on a replay on the internet, contact the person who brought you, right? And ask and tell them, hey, I'm ready. They might already have a link in their email that they shared with you. Go ahead and join that, right? It all comes down to, with the information you have, what you're getting in your hands is not found anywhere else, because everyone else is 20 years in the past. Think about it. If through engineering, most of our books were based on theories hundreds of years ago. It's numbers. It's formulas. The Bernoulli equation, right? For compressible flow. That stuff was like hundreds of years old, right? But if you want to go learn how to be a blogger, how to make money on the internet, how to attract people and generate leads, how do you make more money per sale? How do you increase your average checkout? How do you build a sustainable business, even part-time? That's the question. How do you do it, right? And that's the biggest issue. A lot of people don't know what to sell, and the things that they sell convert poorly. A lot of people have things that they want to sell, and they're selling to the wrong people, the wrong avatar, the wrong niche. It's not congruent. It's like trying to sell a steak to a vegetarian. A lot of you are doing that, right? Just not in the know. Or you're the person who you can't teach yourself and then do it. Like, you can't, maybe you're the person who's like, I want to be an engineer, and I'm going to take all the courses by myself, and I'm going to go pick up a book and learn that way. The average person can't do that. I don't even think I think probably only 1% of the population can pick up a book and teach themselves theories, applications, and examples, and then effectively apply it. The average person needs a community. They need instructor-based training. They need to see it from someone else who's done it before. And this is the importance of being able to have classrooms. Well, that's what Empower Network has. They have these products like the Inner Circle, listening to people who have insight, successful business owners who have insight in helping you build your business, right? Top producer formula, right? If you're in network marketing or if you're in direct sales, you need to be able to make sales. Well, how do you do that? Well, there's a course that Empower Network actually makes with that. Team building formula. If you're in an organization where you want to build a team, like a sales team, like in network marketing or direct sales, and you want to build a team, how do you keep it together? How do you grow it? Because it's vastly more difficult to keep a team together than it is to initially just recruit, right? Recruiting is the easy part. It's keeping the team together. And the premium product, the flagship product of Empower Network, is the mass influence, right? How do you take that up to the scale of being able to go online, go offline, and truly help a lot of people without physically calling them or door knocking, right? You don't have to do that. And Empower Network is that digital interface for anyone on Earth, basically. You can be in Australia or you can be in Canada. You can wake up, plug into these products, figure out where you want to be, work on your mindset daily, and plug into these how-tos. And if you have questions, log into our groups, and you have these awesome teams. And then always, always, always go to all the events. This is where you get the things that are very, very hard to explain on a video on the internet or on a phone call. And if you ask anyone who's ever been to a live Empower Network event, we've had a lot of them, that type of experience is not duplicatable on a recorded sales training. It's just not. You're not going to be able to meet the people there. You're not going to be able to meet, the insider trainings that we do live at events. You just can't, right? It's the way you interact with people, your full attention span. Because I know a lot of us, myself included, will try to go through a training and your dog's barking, the door's ringing, the UPS guy's here trying to drop off a package, your wife's telling you dinner's ready, and oh yeah, your son, he needs help with his homework. That's not how, a fully dedicated, fully attentive person absorbs information. If you remember when you were in school, maybe I'm overstepping, but when I was in school, I was at the library a lot, and I was in a desk that was very quiet. I had a light. But I know a lot of people went to college, and they never studied. So depending on how you learn and how you get stuff done, we need to get to that root again, that basic way that you were able to grow your business. And for me, being able to work when the kids are asleep. Wife, hung out with her, she's cool, now she's doing, dishes or she's watching TV. Then I'm focusing on, okay, I need to learn something about SEO, or I need to learn something in the all-in library that we have in Empower Network. It's a really cool library for all of those who are all in. Things like paid traffic, SEO, using Pinterest. All of that's in there, and it's, included as long as you're all in with Empower Network. And so once I focus, I at least, I give myself at least, 30 minutes to an hour, because that's where my attention span is. After that point, my mind either gets tired or I want to go do something else. And as a business owner, you get to decide when you want to take breaks. And for me, working an hour straight, unless it's like a deadline, that's kind of where I'll be, 1 to 2 hours max, but usually it's about an hour. I'll go get up, have some drink of water, maybe go ride a bike and come back and work again. But on average, you can work 3, 4, 5, 10 hours a day, as much as you want or as little as you want, but you need to decide what goals you want to hit. And Empower Network can be there for you, right? It all comes down to where your goals are. If your goal is to make $500 a month, fantastic. Empower Network can help you. You probably only need to invest a couple hours a week, and you can probably get there, right? Now, there's no guarantees. See your average income disclaimer at empowernetwork.com/income. But there's a lot of people who only work a couple hours a week and make $10,000 a month. Now, how do you do it? You've got to build systems up, like having a blog connected to an autoresponder, and then have traffic flowing from your social media and your paid traffic to your blog, which then goes to capture pages, which then captures them into an autoresponder so that it sells 24/7. This is the process that even when you're sleeping, you can make sales. And that's the beauty of running a business with Empower Network. We set all that up. All of that is set up for you. You just plug in and just learn to drive. Just learn to drive, right? So look, guys, go ahead and get back with the person who sent you this link, or if you're listening to the recorded telephone line, go back to the person, either if it was through email or Facebook or Twitter, contact them again and tell them you're ready to get started. Go ahead and get started at minimum with the Kalatu premium, I would say, just because it's a great deal as long as it's still available, and start from there. And then depending on what your goals are, you'll need more training. Right? It's just the way it is. It's kind of like, hey, if you're weightlifting and all you have is a 2-pound dumbbell, you can probably get stronger, You can probably get stronger, but it's going to be hella hard because you don't have enough weight. You might as well just, work out with your desk or your chair or your body, right? But there's only so many things you can do. You need equipment. You need technical websites. You need a blog. You need things that run for you. Do you have to know all the HTML in it? Heck no. It's all done by, a well-paid, high-end coding professionals on Empower Network, you just need to be able to plug into it, right? Plug into it and run it like you're a bus driver. The bus is there, be the driver, jump in, and just do your thing, right? But you have to do it consistently. Because, I mean, think about it. Can you imagine eating every other third day, right? Yeah. Will you live? Yes. Does it suck? Heck yes, it sucks. You want to eat 3 meals a day, 3 square meals. Some of you who are working out are eating like 6 meals a day. You got to be consistent with it if you want gains so that your body can change to that environment. Because your body isn't used to making $50,000 a month like some of our affiliates are doing. Your body's not your mind would just explode. $500,000 in your tax returns. What? It doesn't make sense. But we have to get your body trained to that point so that when it comes, you earned it. You deserve it. You're ready for it. You're not going to squander it, right? You're not going to be the guy who, generates all this fame and fortune and money to just blow it all away in one night in Vegas. No, we're going to train your mind. We're going to help you with your systems. We're going to train you to be a good business owner so that, if you want to be uber wealthy or if you just want to be able to have enough money to pay off a car, you can definitely do that. So guys, my name is Lawrence Tam. Thank you for joining us for Empower Hour. We're here every single Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Get with the person who brought you to this training call. And if there's only one thing you remember from tonight, number one, you got to start with your mind. Number two, let Empower Network systems, their blogs, their marketing system, their funnels, their autoresponder connections, let them do all that heavy lifting. And so number three, you can just implement what you learn. Be the driver, plug in, do exactly what we're teaching you to do in Empower Network. Listen to the inner circle every single day. You have these 8 core commitments. If you just maintain that, go through it every day, educate yourself, learning, it will happen for you. How soon, how fast? Well, how fast can you learn? How fast can you implement? And how fast can you look and analyze what you're doing is working or not working, make the adjustments, come to our events, ask questions, connect with the customer support team, connect with your teams, connect with your sponsor. This is the way it works, and it's worked from myself to being able to, retiring officially at the age of 33 in 2012, making my first $1 million, thankfully, with Empower Network. So appreciate you guys. Make sure you connect with the person who brought you to this phone call, or if you watch on the internet, this recording, and connect with them and say, hey, I'm ready to join. Make sure you join with the Kalatu Premium, as it is on a discount. I believe you can get it. If not, the Kalatu itself is fantastic, and then upgrade to the Premium. Just the amount of training, value, and all the systems that are set up into it is just a really, really, really good deal. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one. Peace.